Hello and welcome everyone to another biology class of Fun Scholar. I, Shushmita ma'am, am back again with yet another chapter of class 6 CBSE board, and that is the wonderful world of science. We already know that science is a wonderful subject where we learn everything by doing. There is logic behind every explanation or every phenomenon occurring around us. And in this chapter, we will know about the ways by which we actually verify the truth behind the logic that we learn in science. So this is actually not quite extensive, but rather a short chapter of class 6, but also an important one because this chapter actually teaches us how we can actually have a good perception of science. So without any further delay, let's begin. Science is a way of thinking, observing, and doing to uncover the secrets of the universe. A journey to explore and understand the beautiful world we live in. Yes, of course, this is the truth. I already mentioned that we uncover or we know the secrets of the universe by doing. This is very important that we carry out many experiments and activities. In experiments, we do extensive research, we go through the literature or the whatever knowledge that has been already obtained before our work by other researchers. We need to go through that, and then only have that we have that kind of idea that what can we expect from our own experiment, what can be the outcome of our own experiment. Yes, it's not that it's always the desirable outcome, but still we can at least have a knowledge or have an idea that what we are actually going to do. And we can also keep a plan B ready that if the experiment doesn't work accordingly that what we have planned, then what we can do in the other way. So we can also always have a plan B. So therefore, and experiments help us to actually discover something new or to know or to verify the truths which has been believed for ages. Again, activities are some of the things that we can carry out in the classroom or even in our day-to-day lives in our home also with simple setup in order to actually verify or confirm the statements which are given in our books. So with all these things, we know the secrets which are hidden in the universe by doing. And observation. This is another important thing in science, that is observation. So a good observer only can actually pave the way for the results or the inferences that we actually get. So if you have a keen eye for observation, then only you can understand what are the inferences that we are obtaining from the experiments or the activities. So observation power is very important for science students. Now, science is also a journey to explore and understand the beautiful world. Yes, obviously. So, since time immemorial, scientists are involved to know the secrets of this vast universe. We till now have discovered many secrets, and actually many, we can say, the phenomenon that why they are, we have answered many whys and hows, that why they are occurring and how they are occurring, but still many are left to be unraveled. So work is still going on because it is a continuous journey and it is a never ending process. What is science? So if we ask that what is science just a subject or it is beyond the walls of the classroom or beyond the pages of the book? So yes, of course, it is more than you can imagine. Science as an adventure. Science is like a big adventure. In science, you can ask questions, you can explore the world, you can understand how things work. The most important ingredient here is curiosity. Because until and unless you are curious, you won't be able to find out the answer. A very good example is Newton's law. The apple fell that day from the tree. But if Newton was not curious to find the answer that why did the apple fall downwards from the tree and why did it not go upwards or any other direction, then today also we wouldn't have been able to discover the laws of gravitation, right? So he was curious enough to ask. So in science, you should always have a curious mind to ask questions. If you ask, then only you will have the urge to search for the answer. And if you get the answer from the sources around you, such as the teachers, nowadays the internet is always at disposal, so there are a lot more sources. So if you get them, it's well and good, but if not, you can carry out, as I said, activities and experiments to find out the answer on your own. So therefore the basic foundation stone is laid by this quality, that is curiosity. And understanding how things work, the working principle or the modus operandi. So whatever it is, the how things work, this actually help us to know that if those things don't work the usual way, how we can repair or mend that. Right? For example, the clock, the wall clock. If we know that how the two hands, the hour hand and the minute hand and also the second hand, of course, they are in sync with one another, and how, what is the machine behind it and how it is working, then if the clock has stopped or if the clock is not showing time properly or is not in sync, the hands are not in sync with one another, then we can actually look for the loophole, that this is the problem. So we know the problem only when we know the correct way it should be. If we don't know the correct arrangement, then we can't find out the thing which is not normal. This is the idea behind science. And exploring the world, obviously, so many beautiful phenomena are occurring all around the world. If we do not explore, so we will always remain in the beliefs that yes, only the world actually is in itself is an enigma, is a mystery. So the more we explore, the more we get to know the many layers that keep on uncovering themselves. Discovering the world through science. So how can we discover the world with the help of science? Science reveals wonders big and small, from tiny grains of sand to massive mountains, from a single leaf to entire forest, from the mysteries of the night sky and the stars. Science helps us to answer why do stars shine, how do flowers know when to bloom. So all the questions are answered only by one thing, that is science. So science actually is in totality the entire I can say the entire foundation of both living and non-living. So be it the tiniest particle, sand is a non-living thing. Now for the living world, the tiniest particle is the cell that we always study. So from the cell to an entire organism. So how it is formed, what is the hierarchy of arrangement? So it is always we can say that a system of awe and a system of gradual and systematic arrangement that help us to know that from a single thing how the entire foundation is made. Just like from a single brick the entire building is made, so similarly from the tiniest particle which can even not be seen by naked eyes, how an entire big organism is made, and also how all the things work in coordination with one another to continue the systematic life processes. Then from single leaf to entire forest and the night sky or the daytime activities also like photosynthesis. So how each and every activity or phenomenon takes place can only be answered by science. Science is everywhere, found in every corner of the world, from the depth of the ocean to the mountain peaks, and from our kitchen playground to even outer space. So obviously, we are living on planet Earth. So is it that science is limited to planet Earth only? Yes, not actually. Science is everywhere, even on Earth and beyond Earth. Science you can find on sun, on moon, and even on other planets. So that is why in order to know the phenomena and the happenings of other celestial bodies, we send satellites. We have many manned mission as well as unmanned mission where we are always keen to know what is happening not only in our own home, that is on planet Earth, but also what is happening in our neighborhood, means in the other celestial bodies around us. And from our kitchen, means there is science in every activity that we perform on a regular basis. So therefore, from preservation techniques that we carry out to preserve food in the kitchen or during cooking, which ingredients do we add before and which ingredients we do add afterwards, and why? Why don't we interchange the ingredients and what will happen? So all these questions are answered in science. And in playground also we can find that the children, they are playing different types of games, they are getting engaged in different types of activities. There also we can feel the presence of science. Let's begin the journey of science. So first we have the boundless world of science, where science will be fueling curiosity and pushing boundaries. From the vastness of outer space to everyday moments like cooking in the kitchen or activities on the playground, groundbreaking discoveries emerge from unexpected places. So unexpected places, obviously, for example, Anton von Leeuwenhoek, he was a textile merchant, and he discovered the simple type of microscope to observe the textile or the fabric quality in his textile industry. But accidentally, he actually ended up inventing the first life cell or discovering the first life cell, which he called animalcule. This we will study in the chapter cell. So his purpose was for his business, that is to check the quality of fabric for his industrial purpose. But he ended up discovering the life cell. So here it was totally unexpected because his intention was not actually to discover life cell. Also, he was not a scientist even, but by chance it was a discovery. Every answer leads to new questions, making the quest for knowledge infinite. Each discovery adds a new piece to the giant jigsaw puzzle of science. As I said before only, it is a never-ending journey. The more we get answer, the more it opens avenues for new questions to come up. For example, in case of drug manufacturing, so we are manufacturing a drug for a certain disease, but it will open up questions for the other side effects. Now we go on improvising on the composition of the drug so that it has minimal side effects, but again other loopholes will be there. Maybe the efficiency will be compromised, or the or maybe the affordability of the drug will be compromised, because maybe it will, by doing so many things or including so many ingredients, the price of the drug will hike up. So all these things, you cannot cover everything or every loophole with a single invention. There will be still some areas where there will be some of the disadvantages left over. So in this way, the process of improvisation or process of finding better and better thing is never ending. Another example is finding the cure for cancer, or we can say finding the answer for cancer. So nowadays, many advanced drugs are there, which are actually helping out patients suffering from cancer to ease out their lives. But still, we haven't reached to that pinnacle where we can say we are successful enough to cure the disease completely from its advanced stages. There are many factors which are still to be explored. So therefore, as I said, that there will always be some or the other avenues left which will still need to be looked after. Science influences our daily lives, inspiring curiosity and practical innovation. Sometimes existing pieces need to be adjusted as new discoveries reshape our understanding. Now, existing pieces need to be adjusted. For this, I would like to put forth the example of the movie Mission Mangal. I don't know how many of you have watched the movie. It's a very good movie regarding the story of how Mission Mangal was made successful in its first attempt only. So there you will notice that the shape of the, we can say that the satellite was actually given like that of a ship, so that as ship can harness the power of the wind and sail by using that power, so similarly that shape of the satellite can take the power from the solar storm and can sail towards its destination and without getting astray or without getting deflected from its own trajectory. So therefore, that is the best example how the existing pieces only were just readjusted. It was not like that new pieces were added, but the existing pieces or the parts of the satellite only were readjusted so as to give it a new improvisation which can actually be of great help in encountering the challenge of the solar storm. Connections in discovery. As we uncover more, we realize how deeply interconnected science ideas are. Yes, that is the thing. Science has got many avenues or many branches. That is the thing. As we go in the higher classes, we actually focus on a single branch. but science has got many branches. Accordingly, they are named. For example, the branch which deals with the living organisms, we call it biology. The branch which deals with chemicals, we call it chemistry. And the branch which deals with physical activities on our everyday life, we call it physics, physical phenomenon. So physics, chemistry, bio. So these are the basic branches of science. But apart from it also, these branches will go on further bifurcation. Where, for example, under chemistry also interconnected branches. For example, some part of biology and some part of chemistry, it will be mixed together in the branch called biochemistry, in which we mainly deal with the chemical composition of the biological organisms, because we know that we are also made up of many elements and compounds in our body. So we mainly deal with those chemical compounds and composition which we can find in the living system. So that is biochemistry. Again, bio and physics can be combined together or interconnected in the subject biophysics. So likewise, we have many interconnected branches also, where the ideas of both the branches can be studied together as required by us. Focus on Earth. Our journey begins with our home planet Earth, the only planet known to support life till now. So therefore, we can only know the unknown if we have known the surrounding in which we are dwelling. So therefore, we are dwelling on planet Earth. We have explored it to a great extent, but I'm not saying that we have explored the complete thing. There are many things which are still to be discovered further, and the endeavor is going on and it will go on. But apart from this also, as we have discovered to a great extent, now a little bit of focus is shifted to know the unknown also. For example, Sun, Venus, then Mars, then the Saturn, all these planets also, the Moon, and the other natural satellites. So therefore, we have shifted our focus a bit to our neighbors also, after knowing a lot more, if not the complete one, about our home. Diverse life forms. Now, this constitutes what we call biodiversity. This is the same thing, that is diverse life form or diversity of life form that we can find in a region. So in a region, the variety of life forms, be it the variety of animal life, the variety of plant life, the variety of microorganisms, whatever you say. So the variety that, or the number of species of each variety together form the biodiversity of that particular region. Now, Earth hosts a stunning variety of plants and animals thriving in different regions. So, the variety of plants found, it's called flora, and the variety of animals, it's called fauna. So the flora and the fauna variety, they constitute the life which thrive on planet Earth. Nature's transformation, how seeds grow into plants and caterpillars transform into butterflies. That is an amazing thing to look for. Also, we can say how a single zygote within the uterus form a complete whole new organism, and from that only another life or another human being is formed. That is also an amazing thing, because the gametes are fusing with one another, and from that each and every body organ and part is being formed exactly like the same copy of human beings. The creation is unique. The idea of creation of life within another life, that in itself is a great thing, or which can never be substituted for, because the nature only has got this ability to produce new life from the pre-existing life. So nature will include the plants, nature will include the animals, nature will include the microorganisms, and nature will obviously include us, that is the human beings. So we are all an integral part of nature only, and this formation of life within life is the most amazing phenomenon among all the things that are prevalent in nature. Curiosity about food. I will be back in a moment. Just a minute. Okay. So, next thing is food. India's large diversity brings countless tasty dishes across its regions. What are these dishes made of? How can we learn more about them? So we know India is the only country with so many cultures dwelling together. That is the beauty of our nation, that so many religions, so many traditions, they all stay together, and here each and every kind of festival is celebrated, and we know each region is actually famous for one or more dishes also. For example, the South Indians, they are very good in making the dosas, idlis, sambar varas, then the medu varas. All these dishes come from South. Then from north we have, from Lucknow and Hyderabad, we have the great biryanis from there. Then the great mutton recipes, chicken recipes of the Mughals. So, and then from Bengal we have different kinds of sweets, the mishti doi. All these things have come from Bengal. So similarly, each and every region speaks about the rich variety of food and dishes that it serves. And here in this nation, we can get to taste the variety in, and that keeps on changing in every state that you travel to. So accordingly, we have a great diverse form of the dishes, from chole bhature to the desserts to the main courses, and then to the variety of salads, then to the variety of seafood also. So whatever takes or whatever approaches your or pleases your platter, you can accordingly have that food in India. Then water in everyday life. Water is essential for life, a versatile substance that supports ecosystem and human activities. It exists in various forms, that is liquid, solid and gas, and plays a vital role in regulating Earth's climate and our daily lives. And the question is about water cycle. So yes, water is an essential commodity. It exists in the form of snow or ice when it is solid, in the form of water in liquid state, and in the form of water vapor in its vapor or gaseous state. So be it in any state, life on earth has been possible only because of the existence of water. If water had not existed on planet earth, so life would not have been possible here. Now, water constitutes about 70% of our body weight in case of human beings, and also it is an essential part of our regular activities from washing to bathing to cleaning to cooking. So in each and every activity, we take the help of water only. And also for other animals, if you notice that plants also need water, without which they won't be able to photosynthesize or carry out any other activity of transportation of food. Then animals also need water. The life processes inside the body of both plants and animals take place with water only. So without water, no life form will actually exist on planet Earth. Now talking about the water cycle, in the water cycle, the main steps which are there, we will know them one by one. First is evaporation. So what is evaporation? You can see that this crimson colored arrows, that water from the water bodies and the other surfaces, they rise up in the form of water vapor. So when the temperature is very high, so water from the surface, in the surface water bodies such as rivers, ponds, lakes, oceans, or the any surface runoff. So from everywhere it will get converted into water vapor, and when it is changed into gaseous form, it gets lighter and rise up in the atmosphere. Also, the process of transpiration, that is excretion of excess water in the form of vapor through stomata by plants, that also contributes to the process of evaporation. So therefore, we can say more plants in an area, more evaporation in the form of transpiration. That can also be said. So now water vapors, they will all get collected and they will rise up in the atmosphere. Then what is the next phenomenon? Next phenomenon is condensation. What is this condensation? So the dust particles present in the atmosphere, also the leaves of the plants which release some of the microscopic organic compounds, which, so these dust particles and this microscopic organic compounds released by leaves, together they form the condensation nuclei. So condensation nuclei will provide the surface or the support on which the water vapors will get converted into water droplets. This conversion of water from its vapor stage to its droplet stage is known as condensation, and this process only helps in the formation of clouds. So clouds are formed by the phenomenon of condensation. Finally, when clouds become heavy and they keep on floating, but when they are heavy enough, it becomes impossible for them to remain afloat. So they will then are no longer able to hold the water. They shed off as precipitation, as you can see, or as rainfall, or when they strike in the mountains, then also they shed off as precipitation when they are heavy enough. Now after precipitation, so the third phenomenon is precipitation. Evaporation, condensation, precipitation. Then after precipitation, what will happen again? Water will come back to the water bodies and it will then again percolate in the soil to form the groundwater table, from which plants can also take that up with the help of roots, and humans can also extract it to obtain drinking water, and it will be utilized likewise, and rest of it will again form surface runoff, and then it will go and join the water bodies such as any river, stream, lakes and ponds. So in this way, water keeps on cycling from atmosphere to lithosphere and to biosphere, because we use water for drinking purpose, cooking purpose. So then when water forms an integral part of our body, so it is a part of biosphere only. So therefore, the cycling of water in all the spheres of earth is known to be water cycle. Water and temperature. So how in different temperature water is converted from one form to another. That is the next topic. So freezing to become ice. So when water is frozen to 0 degrees Celsius, 0 degrees Celsius, that is the freezing point. So that is the point from which water starts to get frozen to ice, and this is known as freezing. On the other hand, boiling to become steam. When liquid water is boiled to 100 degrees Celsius, this is the boiling point. So that is the time when liquid water starts to get converted to steam or the vapor form. Understanding hot and cold. Now measuring temperature is important for water and even our body during fever. Now temperature, what is temperature and heat? If I say in the form, in the terms of chemistry, heat is the cause in simple terms and temperature is the effect. When we supply heat, then temperature is raised. When we withdraw heat or cool something, so then the temperature goes down. So heat is the cause. Either we increase it or decrease it. Accordingly, temperature will be increased or decreased. So heat and temperature are directly proportional to each other, and one is the cause and another is the effect. When we increase the temperature to 100 degrees Celsius, then water gets converted to the vapor, that is vaporization, and when we cool down liquid water to 0 degrees Celsius, then it gets converted to ice, so that is freezing point. So according to the temperature, the states of water, that is solid state, liquid state, vapor state, it will keep on changing. And during fever also, because how much you are sick, it will depend on how high fever you are running. So therefore, we measure with the help of thermometer, we know. So thermometer shows us the temperature or the effect. So more high fever or more temperature means the higher fever and hence higher rate or higher degree of infection, because we know fever is only a symptom. It is not any disease. It is just a symptom of any other disease. So therefore, higher degree of infection by any disease will lead to higher fever and it will lead to higher temperature of the body, which can be measured with the help of thermometer. The world of everyday objects. So in everyday objects which are useful to us but also a part of science. So those objects we will have a look in this topic. Now, paper, metal keys, plastic rulers, rubber, eraser, magnet, clothes, cups and more. What are these objects made up of? If I go on with each one, so paper is obviously it is made from the wood pulp, right? Wood pulp, it is bleached, it is compressed, it is made in the form of thin sheets. So it comes from the wood pulp or it comes from the trees. Metal keys come from the metal ores. The ores are purified, from that metal is extracted and then they are shaped in the form of keys. Plastic rulers. Now, plastic is a synthetic item, then plastic is actually manufactured in the laboratories and then it is melted and given the shape of a ruler and then the graduations are also marked on it accordingly. Rubber eraser. Rubber is a natural item that we get. It is like a excretory product. We have got rubber tree from which we can extract rubber. So rubber is made, it is a natural object from which eraser can be made. Magnets. Magnets are also formed from the metals only. The magnetic metals which are easily attracted from that, we can actually manufacture permanent magnets. So magnets are made from metals and metals are extracted from earth surface or earth's core only. Clothes. Clothes are made either from natural fiber or synthetic fiber. Natural fiber such as cotton, synthetic fiber and silk, natural fiber cotton, silk and synthetic fiber such as nylon or the rayon, all these things. Cups. Cups is made up of the porcelain, then obviously the bone china. So then they are made up of the natural things mixed with some of the artificial objects also. And in this way, all the things of everyday life is related to science. Then variety in composition. Objects are made of different materials that we have discussed one by one just now with unique properties. How can we separate and understand these materials? So unique properties means, for example, magnets. If I talk about magnets, we can separate magnets because we know they are easily attracted to the metals, the magnetic metals such as iron, nickel, cobalt, and we can separate them out, right? But on the other hand, this rubber or this paper that cannot be attracted by the magnets. So this is the unique feature of magnetic substances only. Now, if I talk on the basis of degradation, so biodegradable or non-biodegradable. So the clothes, cups, then this rubber, paper, since they are all the natural things or made or obtained from nature only, so they are easily biodegradable or they can be decomposed easily by the microorganisms called decomposers. But the others such as plastics, all the metals, this all these things cannot be biodegraded so easily, right? As I said earlier, we have discussed about curiosity. So curiosity is not limited to our planet Earth, but it extends to the entire universe. And mind you, in the universe, there is not only our galaxy, that is Milky Way galaxy. The name of our galaxy is Milky Way galaxy. But apart from that, there are other galaxies also in the universe. Now, in the solar system, each planet also has got many characteristic features, many unique phenomena occurring inside them, and also many surprising or mysterious things or mysterious objects found on them, which are still being actually which are still being they are being talked about, that why they are found only on that planet only and not in other planets. For example, in on Venus planet, it is told that it rains diamond. So why it rains diamond? What is the climatic situation there for which it rains diamond there? So all these things are being looked after now, and the answer has been provided to some extent. But for more clear answers, we are still searching out that what is the secret behind such phenomenon. Why Pluto is not considered as a planet? Because of the size and obviously some other features which does not qualify Pluto as a planet. So therefore the name of Pluto has been disqualified as a planet. There are certain methods to start an experiment. Now we'll talk how to conduct an experiment. There is a systematic procedure to conduct experiment. We cannot start experiment from anywhere or stop it anywhere. There is a systematic procedure, and that is what we are going to deal with now. The scientific method is the series of steps. So whenever we follow a certain protocol or standard protocol, so that is known as a scientific method. And in that method, it is written how we can start the activity and then what to do next, one step at a time, and how to reach the conclusion of the experiment. So the entire thing is known as the scientific method, and it is nothing but a series of steps to conduct the experiment or to conduct all the steps one after another. Now, step one is to ask a question. Now, the asking a question is the aim or objective of the experiment. That for what we are conducting the experiment, it will be the focus or the goal to reach to this aim or objective, or to confirm or satisfy the condition mentioned in this aim or objective. Because by setting the goal, then we can set the path to reach to that goal. So similarly, the first thing, that is asking the question or asking the particular or setting the goal, is termed as aim or objective of the experiment. Step 2 is formulating a hypothesis. Hypothesis means that an idea without proof. Hypothesis means an idea without proof. So, formulate a hypothesis means what do you think? So, you are going to conduct an experiment. Now, what do you think will be the cause, or what do you think will be the end result from your opinion or your point of view? So, what is your expectation practically from that particular experiment? That is formulation of hypothesis. Hypothesis is a certain idea without proof, and for getting this proof only you are conducting this experiment. You have got an idea, but you don't know whether that idea is true or not. And in order to prove that only, you have to go through the scientific method to finally prove it. Then step 3 is gather materials. So we call this instruments, apparatus, or raw materials. You can call it any of these things, either instruments or apparatus or raw materials required for the experiment. So for conducting the experiment, what are the basic things, or if some special instrument is required, so that also should be mentioned in this step before starting your experiment. So you have to gather all these things before before you are going to actually conduct the experiment. It's not that whenever you will require that item, then you will go collect or purchase that. So by that time, that experiment will fail. So before you start the experiment, make sure you have everything at your disposal. Step 4 is the procedure. So procedure means how you are going to conduct the experiment now actually. Here you have now started to do that experiment, but here also you have to do them in steps. For example, you have, out of all the raw materials, which one you are going to pick first, then what you are going to do, then what you are going to do. Like that, stepwise you need to do. You cannot go on randomly doing all the things together, right? So it will make the process haphazard. Step 5 is collecting results. Now, whatever results, and this should be done very transparently. You cannot manipulate it. You need to be true to yourself, and whatever result you obtain from your experiment, you need to write it down and then arrange them or analyze them later in the subsequent steps. Analyze the result. So in the previous thing, you have just collected the result. Now you have to arrange them either in the tabular form or either any other form necessary according to the aim of the experiment, and then you have to infer or analyze them, that what these results are telling you about the experiment, that are you getting the desirable output from the experiment or not. Draw conclusions. Now here you will state whether the hypothesis that you had formulated in step 2 has been proved or not, or it has been, or it should be actually dismissed, because the proof or the experiment has proved that the hypothesis is actually a null hypothesis without any logic. So therefore, whether the hypothesis that you had taken for initially should be kept or be dismissed will be written in this step, that is conclusion. The scientific method is a great way to explore and understand the world by asking questions, making guesses, testing ideas, and analyzing results. You can discover how things work, and it's a step-by-step process that helps you uncover the mysteries of nature, and you can use it to investigate anything that sparks your curiosity. So these are the basic steps for any experiment that you like to conduct. First, you need to have an aim or objective, then you need to formulate an hypothesis, then you need to collect the raw materials, then you will start doing the experiment, then you will note down the results, then you will analyze them, infer the conclusions, and then finally you will conclude whether the hypothesis was proved or not. Science is a team effort. Science is rarely done alone. Scientists around the world often work in large teams. For example, in science, there is no place for ego. It's not possible for a single individual to know each and every branch of science deeply. So often, if you are stuck, there is no harm in asking an expert that how you can come out of that predicament, that how you can proceed so that you reach to your desirable destination. So that is the teamwork or collaboration. Whenever you are going astray or you are deflected from your trajectory, you can take help of any expert. Science is fun, like it's enjoying the rain. Science is about curiosity and joy, and for that, kids also need to have the scientific temperament from their childhood only. So, if they are instilled with scientific temperament since their childhood, so as they grow up, they will start to see the logic behind every phenomenon and every item that is actually present all around them, from the light and the fan working to the natural phenomenon such as rainbow and rainfall. They will start questioning the happening of all these things around them. Never stop wondering. So for understanding science and for enjoying it, you should always keep on wondering, exploring, and always keep that curious mind ignited. So that's all from this chapter, which teaches us how to take science as an interesting subject, how to get deeply involved in science, and how to follow a scientific systematic method in order to get a very systematic arrangement of results and reach our aim or goal. So thank you so much for getting connected with us, and if you have any queries, so reach out to us. It's the Fun Scholar Academy. I'll meet you with another chapter. Till then, take care. I'm signing off. Bye bye.